The downpour had been relentless, pounding the ground for what felt like forever. Rain slammed against the pavement, spilling into drains and turning the parking lot into a mirror of shattered reflections. People rushed past with coats pulled over their heads, desperate to escape the storm, blind to everything else around them. Everyone except Dr. Olivia Hart. At the far edge of the lot, beside a toppled shopping cart, a German shepherd crouched low to the ground. His body trembled uncontrollably, claws scraping against the wet asphalt. His tail was tucked so tightly beneath him it was almost invisible. Pressed beneath his chest was a worn red duffel bag, and he clung to it as if it were the last thing anchoring him to the world. He wasn't snarling. He wasn't barking. He was crying. The sound stopped Olivia in her tracks. It wasn't the cry of pain or fear she had heard countless times before in injured animals. This was different. This was grief. A broken, desperate sound filled with loss, as though the dog understood exactly what he stood to lose and was begging fate not to take it away. Cars honked impatiently as they swerved around him. Someone shouted from a window. Another person clapped their hands, trying to scare him off. The dog didn't react. Instead, he pressed himself harder against the bag, placing one shaking paw over the strap, refusing to surrender it. Olivia said softly, setting her medical bag down. "What happened to you?" The shepherd lifted his head just enough for her to see his eyes, and the sorrow in them nearly stole her breath. She had seen fear before. She had seen pain, but never sorrow this deep. She raised her hand slowly. "I'm not here to hurt you. I promise." Thunder cracked above them. Rain soaked through her scrubs, but she barely felt it. She took a cautious step closer. The dog didn't flinch or growl. He only shook, his body draped over the red bag as if it held his very soul. "You're protecting something," she whispered. The dog answered with a long, broken whimper, lowering his head onto the bag. Olivia reached into her pocket and pulled out a small treat, not as a bribe, just a sign of kindness. The shepherd sniffed it, torn between trusting her and guarding what mattered most. "It's okay," she murmured. "Let me help." Slowly, carefully, she moved closer. When her fingers touched the soaked fabric of the bag, the dog didn't snap or bite. He released a quiet, defeated sound and lowered his head, as though surrendering to exhaustion. Olivia unzipped the bag. Her breath caught so sharply it hurt. Inside were two newborn German shepherd puppies, curled together like forgotten scraps of cloth. They were tiny, silent, their damp fur cold to the touch. Their chests rose only faintly, their bodies trembling with weak, fading pulses. "Oh no," Olivia gasped. "You brought them here, didn't you?" The shepherd nudged the puppies frantically with his nose, whining as if pleading, "Please, save them." Olivia lifted the bag into her arms. "Come with me." He followed her, limping. That was when she noticed the deep gash along his back leg, rainwater mixing with blood and leaving a thin trail behind him. Still, he refused to fall behind. Inside the clinic, everything moved fast. Towels, heat pads, incubators. The shepherd hobbled into the exam room and pressed himself against the wall, eyes fixed on the incubator where the puppies were placed. Every twitch made him whimper. Every moment of stillness made his claws scrape the floor in panic. One of the technicians whispered, "Look." Olivia saw it. The torn strap of the red bag, bruises shaped like boot marks along the dog's ribs, and a frayed airline tag dangling from the zipper. Someone had zipped the puppies inside the bag. Someone had thrown them away, and their father had fought back. He had dragged that heavy bag through rain, mud, and asphalt. He had endured pain and injury, bleeding as he went, bringing his babies to the only place he believed might save them. Hours passed. The puppy's movements grew stronger. Silence turned into faint squeaks. When dawn finally arrived, Olivia rested her hand on the shepherd's head. "They're fighting," she whispered. "You kept them alive." Only then did the dog finally collapse beside the incubator, exhaustion overtaking him at last. Still, he forced his eyes to stay open, watching his puppies breathe. The days that followed transformed the clinic. The puppies recovered quickly, warmed by formula and gentle hands. Their father never left their side. If someone carried a puppy away, he followed silently, guarding every step. The staff named him Hero. No other name made sense. One evening, Olivia sat beside him on the floor. "You saved them," she whispered, scratching behind his ears. "You never gave up." Hero no longer cried. His tail tapped weakly against the floor. His eyes were tired but peaceful. A week later, Hero walked into Olivia's office carrying the same red bag in his mouth. He set it gently in her lap and nudged it toward her hands. Calm, steady, proud, as if saying, "You can take it now. You're safe." Tears blurred Olivia's vision as she cradled his face. "You didn't just save your puppies," she whispered. "You reminded us how powerful love can be." Hero leaned into her touch, eyes closing as his tail swept the floor. The puppies grew stronger every day, tumbling over one another in playful chaos. Hero watched with quiet pride. When their story spread online, millions fell in love, calling him a father, a fighter, a symbol of compassion from the unlikeliest place. Families lined up when the puppies were ready for adoption. But one thing was certain. Hero was never leaving his babies again. The clinic kept them together until every one of them found a home where they would never be abandoned. Hero didn't cry anymore. He didn't need to. His family was safe, and he had finally learned that some humans were worth trusting. If this story moved you, share your thoughts in the comments and follow for more stories about loyalty, courage, and second chances.